the teams I've been using in the video. If you can use Hikari with Chester, Narumi, and Reno at the same time. I mean, I could throw anything together. What's the focus of that, though? Like, what are we trying to do there? Hello, Kaiju No. 8 fans. Hello. I heard that Hikari was released in the game. Yeah, she's here. I got 3 Hikari weapons and 1 new Mina. Hopefully you have enough pity to get the character. Show your build. I mean, I didn't get to finish my build. We just threw it together. This is what it looked like. I spent the entire video saying multiple things. Firstly, if you're going to run with Lizard, it's either Lizard or Fungal. Your choice. I'll end on this. It's your choice. If you whatever you choose for the body part, you want the opposite. Crit rate on Fungal, crit damage on Lizard. But obviously, the Unipart system is just so tedious, right? You could do Wind here. In fact, I think Slash is better, though, because she has that basic attack that does not use Wind. So Slash is the better choice. You could do Wind as well. But again, Unipart system, flat attack percentage, it doesn't truly matter a ton in this game. They mostly push you to the roughly the same numbers. Anyway, I think that Fungal winds up being one that I like better, but I'm going to test it out against my better judgment because the Unipart system, again, sucks. If you use her with 4-star Hoshina, with Chester a little bit too, they're able to push around some crit rate on her, which means you exceed 100% crit rate pretty easily. Her base crit rate was at 38% or so, something like that, and with the Uniparts on, she pushed higher. So it was pretty high. Maybe it wasn't 38. She's getting 16 here and 27 here. Subtract that number from 70, whatever it was showing, 76. So it was pretty high though. But since she's purely single target, all that stuff, you ideally want that number to be high. But again, you can leverage that from other characters too. And even if you put on Fungal, you can still get that on the body part. But really what it is you'd be getting more damage. Crit rate can't exceed 100, but crit damage, if it exceeds 100, the more the merrier. You can push that to 500 for all you want. Like, it's not possible, but if you could, that'd be even better because that's the most impactful stat in the game. She does, or damage dealt also. You want to, once again, you want a mixture of everything. She does have penetration here. Penetration rate goes up by 16. So every so often with that first dupe, she will penetrate, which it's either or. Penetration hits cannot critical hit. So that's where it kind of just is what it is at that point. You can't really do anything about that. But throughout her kit, she also picks up more and more crit damage, which again, it's not like rate where it's like, oh, let's just add up to 100. We want as much crit damage as possible. She gets 24 here. She gets crit damage here. One of these somewhere in here. There it is. So there's kind of a lot, but you want more, and that would help her become more of a DPS. She also gets a good bit on her weapon too if you've got it. So ultimately, though, she's speed demon, super strong character. That's mostly how you want to build her out. In terms of her skills, her passive is high priority. Passive is very important. You want to make sure that you get all that damage dealt. That's the only thing that's really changing here. It's just damage dealt. You want to get as much damage as possible from the acceleration boost. Other than that, though, typically you would want to push to the ultimate. The ultimate winds up being like 454, I think was the number in terms of percentage, which is really strong. Don't get me wrong. However, whenever she's an accelerated, she's not able to gain ultimate charge from any of her actions, but she takes so many damn turns because she gets her speed shoots to like 500, 400 something, 480 something, whatever it is. It gets really high, and so she takes a lot of turns. But so I would say the passive is still one you want to invest in, but then I would actually say you want to level these two because you wind up using the normal attack and the combat skill like 10 times more than the ultimate because she cannot gain ultimate charge when in accelerated. That's especially your order if you've got that second dupe that increases the acceleration duration on the passive by another turn. So with all of that investment in her, I think those are the ones that you want to push to and then ultimate and follow up afterwards, right? Even though, again, the ultimate is still going to be her hardest hitting single move, just because of her play style. I think that is the most impactful way to go. In terms of weapons, she doesn't have any other choices but the other limited options. She comes with a 3-star, so there's that if you wanted to, I guess. She has the 4-star, which is solid, and then the 5-star here. If you don't have a weapon on, I was going to say Sagan, but on Hikari, you need to, you have the 3-star choice. You kind of aren't going to get any more chances until they rerun her banner. And if Sagan is evidence, it could be months. So you may just be better off building a 3 or 4-star if you don't have the 5-star weapon. You may need to pity it as well. I don't typically believe in pitying weapons, but this is the one, like when it's a limited character weapon that's a new type, which we've only seen for this Shinomiya and the last Shinomiya a couple of months ago, then that's where it's fair. I had to do it for Sagan's as well. It's right here, ironically. But otherwise, you kind of don't really have any other choice, and they're going to get vaulted. She's going to be vaulted as a limited character for however many months, so will the weapon. So that's the most important thing. If you're wondering how good she is, again, earlier I did detail all of that. Feel free to rewind. But the most important thing about her is the element on her being wind means they're now going to start putting wind stuff on there, but she can also break any wind-based plates. And then secondly, being limited, right? So I really do think we've hit a point in this game where free players should mostly just ignore everything. I'm dead serious. I don't care how good, unless it's a character you really love, obviously. But I think free players should mostly ignore everything that is quite literally not a limited banner. And the reason why is because all these characters, doesn't matter how much you want them, doesn't matter, they get thrown in the general pool and then you can pull them. For example, right, somebody mentioned this earlier and I thought it was funny because her banner just left with this update, right? Or was it with his update? I'm not sure. Anyway, she just left recently. Ashuro, right? I was just doing videos on her a couple weeks ago, but her ass is already in the pool. So she's right here. So like, what's the point? What's the point? You know, and again, the main reason to pull for them on their initial is that you've got a better chance. 0.1 versus what? 0.5? No, versus 1%. That's a humongous difference. So still, your best chance of getting that specific is on their own release banner. But regardless, they just get thrown in there. So I'm really at the point where it's like, I think free players should just mostly skip everything. Maybe the festivals, we need to see what happens there. Maybe they'll do a festival limited. I have no clue. Festivals are just kind of there. But yeah, so keep that in mind ultimately. All right, everyone. I'm going to get out of here. Hopefully you enjoyed. Make sure you hit that thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. Thank you so much. Sorry if I didn't get to everyone's comment. I'll see you all in the next one. I got to go. My voice is gone.